We've got the refreshed Ford Escape Hybrid in Atlas Blue.
A hybrid you might be able to get. Hybrid engaged, accelerator down.
Good response.
CVT. All right, let's get into it. What's under the hood of this Escape Hybrid?
A 2.5-liter four-cylinder with a hybrid powertrain matched to an eCVT. It has a combined 192 horsepower. Front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive options are available.
So this is an updated model we're going to get into. What do you get with this facelift right now? What are the key standard features?
The base trim comes with an 8-inch touchscreen with Sync 4, wireless Apple Carplay and Android Auto, an 8-inch driver display, a 6-speaker audio system, 8-way power driver's seat, a 4-way manual passenger seat, heated front seats, vinyl and cloth upholstery, heated steering wheel, power liftgate, and Ford Copilot 360.
Look, Andrea, it's your favorite, a rotary dial shifter.
Love a rotary dial.
What can we put it in?
Gotta put it in S for subscribe, and if you can hit that notification bell, you'll be notified when all of our reviews drop, and then you can watch them.
And we do this, the couple car review, twice a week. The first one drops on Wednesday.
We put another one out on Saturday.
So make sure you like and subscribe, but also follow along on Instagram. It's Motormouth_Andrea to see what's going on behind the scenes. For me, it's Motormouth_Auto. Make sure to hit the like button. That really helps the channel on the way down to the description. This is the facelifted model. The last one I thought looked like a Porsche Cayenne.
Yeah, a lot of people did.
And now they've done some changes. What do you get with this model?
Well, it's got a new exterior design. You've got a larger grille, new headlamps, tail lamps. I think it looks really good. Updated technology now comes with Sync 4 and standard wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You've got the available larger screens, and there's also some new driver assist features, including intersection assist and blind spot assist.
So this is a classic facelift. The front of a vehicle in the automotive world is called a clip. They put a new front clip on, a new rear clip on. That's bumpers, grille, headlamps, and it doesn't look so much like the Cayenne any longer.
No.
And I like the square headlamps. I think it looks a little more assertive. Mission accomplished.
And there's a new ST Line series. We're driving the top ST Line Elite model. There's only one other trim. It's the Platinum trim. That's not the ST Line. So you get a sport tune suspension, and you get black exterior accents and a sportier look.
I don't like black wheels. You know my thoughts on black
Now
wheels.
you can, I noticed online that you can switch those out and
good.
get lighter colored wheels. So that's an option. Yeah.
So this whole ST thing for the Escape is kind of interesting. Adding the Sport Tune suspension, we really liked the previous model's ride, and we find this is a little bumpier, and if you live in an area with a lot of potholes and uneven pavement, you might not like this.
For those who know me, they know I like a firmer suspension. But I'm a little bit surprised that this hybrid has all of these ST Line trims, and they're all firm except for the Platinum model. So I like to get into that and just compare and see the differences. Is it not as firm? When I speak to people about electrified vehicles, they like it smooth and comfortable and a quiet cabin. This does get a little bit louder on the highway. It's not as quiet as the Hyundai Tucson. Yeah.
You hear the road.
You hear the road. The Kia Sportage and the Hyundai Tucson are definitely quieter than this. I would say even the RAV4 Hybrid is a little bit quieter.
Okay, so what we don't understand is, yes, offer the ST Line, offer the sportier suspension, but also offer just a regular one. And that was, I think, one of the attributes of the previous one we drove, is we found it very comfortable, and the seats are a little different in this one as well. We'll get to that in a moment. But what's the steering feel like?
Steering's quite nice. It's not too heavy, but it doesn't have a really light feel to it. It's really in between, which I think is nice. And it's easy to maneuver, easy to parallel park. I find that the turning radius is pretty good. I think it could be a little bit better for a smaller SUV, but it's okay.
All right, so here's the thing. If you live in an area with a lot of potholes and uneven pavement, try it before you buy it.
Yeah.
All right, so what do you get on the outside of this trim?
Well, you've got standard LED headlights, LED taillights, 18-inch wheels, and a temporary spare tire. This model that we're driving, the top trim, has got 19-inch wheels, but I really like the black exterior accents and this sportier look to this. You know, some people say, How many hybrids are sporty out there? Well, you got it here with this hybrid from Ford. Because of that sport tune suspension, it does feel a little bit sportier, but not like a hot hatch sporty.
And then you turn your attention to the inside, and this is one area where all manufacturers are focusing, and these are updates that they can do more often, is change the screens, change the instrument cluster, add more features. We saw that last year with Toyota, or this year currently with Toyota, adding wireless Apple and Android on all trims. That's a modification they can do as a mid-cycle refresh. This is actually pretty good, Andrea. There's no shiny hard plastic except around right there where the volume control is. It's either textured or matte.
Yeah, and I like the textured look. This definitely has a little less hard plastic than the previous model. I applaud Ford for that. That was a big complaint. Plastic, fantastic. I think it's well organized. The center console has got the dial shifter, which I don't love, but it does keep things clean, and you've got the wireless charger tucked away, which is quite nice as well. There's plenty of storage at the center console and in the door pockets. These are sport seats on the ST line, and I don't find them as comfortable as traditional Ford seats, which are quite plush. However, after a while, I have adapted to them, and although they are a little bit firmer, I don't mind them. Now, there are available features like the larger 13.2-inch touchscreen and the digital driver display. The graphics are quite crisp and clear, and I like this EV coach that's on the digital cluster. It tells you when you're in charge mode, when you're in hybrid, and when you're in pure EV mode at very low speeds. Now, available features include a power passenger seat with a height adjustment. You get a 360 camera, heated steering wheel. It's a nice flat bottom heated steering wheel on the ST line. It has driver's seat memory. So there are a couple things I don't like. The panoramic sunroof is an add-on. It's going to cost you over $1,700 in Canada and over $1,500 in the US. It's okay on the lower trims as an add-on, but I think on this top trim for what you're paying, they should include the panoramic sunroof. Other competitors do that, like Kia and Hyundai.
I'm okay with that, because if you're living in Florida, where there's a lot of sun, you might not want a panel roof to cut down on the heat in the cabin. You have that option. Well, at the Ford Motor Company, they like packages. Got to spend extra for the pano roof. You got to spend extra for the head-up display and the B&O stereo. It's in another package. They want more of your money. So this is in the compact class. When you get in the back seat, the leg room and headroom I would call average. One nice feature though, the seat bottom slides fore and aft up to 6 inches, which gives you much more room in the cargo area.
Comparing the Escape Hybrid to other competitors like the RAV4 Hybrid and the CR-V Hybrid, the Escape gets 42.4 inches of front row legroom, which is over an inch more than both the Honda and Toyota. Second row legroom at 38.9 inches is more than the RAV4, but over 2 inches less than the CR-V.
Nice touch, Ford. Power liftgate is standard. You get a very useful cargo space, as we mentioned. You can slide those seats forward. Underneath is a real temporary spare tire.
The Escape Hybrid's cargo space behind the second row is 34.4 cubic feet, and overall cargo space is 60.8 cubic feet, offering less than the CR-V and RAV4.
I seem to want to compare this to Toyota, so let's get into it.
You know how much Zach likes that RAV4 Hybrid.
Time now for questions, coffee, and cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
Did you notice how quiet the turn light indicator sounds? When I test drove it, I had to look in the screen to see if I actually used it. I think they should make it a little louder for everyone's safety.
Listen up, everybody.
So quiet.
Yeah, when you get the radio on and there's road noise,
yeah,
it's pretty quiet. This is something that we get complaints about. Your
My
mom and her husband Phil, they had one car where it was too loud.
Yep.
And another car that it was too low, and now they have one that's just right. So the thing is, wouldn't that be a nice thing to be able to change? The volume of the tick-tock, click-clock?
She did call me and say, how can I change this? And I was like, well, you can't. That's the way it is. We were recently in the Subaru Impreza, and it has, it's actually fairly loud, which doesn't bother me at all, but something probably in between. But you pointed this out on Instagram, and I went and tried it, and I said to Zach, wow, this is really quiet. And I think you're right. Looks nice, but would one buy this over a Toyota or Honda?
Well, you can get this.
Yeah, I think that's really it. And from what I've heard from viewers and followers is that you can get it, as Zach said, but also there aren't markups on this. Whereas we hear from Toyota and we also hear from Kia. Not sure about Honda.
Oh, Honda.
But it's not MSRP pricing.
Yeah, the thing about Honda is they have availability too in the Canadian market because they put the prices up so high of their hybrid. So I think that this product at the lower trims, there's some value there, but you know, cars are getting expensive, including Fords.
Yeah, and as we just mentioned, this is missing some key features, even on the top trim, ventilated front seats and heated rear seats. With the Toyota, you're getting all of that. Now in Canada, there's no panoramic sunroof.
But there is in the US.
You can get a moonroof, yeah, and you can get it in the US, and it's less than this if we don't consider markups. But we also have to consider, can you get one? And we know that Toyota has a long wait, as does Kia and Hyundai. Honda's a little bit better, but you're going to pay quite a bit for that hybrid, just like you're going to pay quite a bit on the top trim of this as well. I took delivery of an ST Line Elite at the beginning of July. I love it. All the tech is amazing. The only thing I'm finding is the new Sync 4 doesn't always connect, and when I use the wireless charger, my phone overheats and stops charging. Other than that, I've put over 5,000 kilometers in July and love it.
Well, that's good to hear. It's good to get firsthand feedback. And the wireless charger thing is something, it's a good lesson for everybody. The wireless charger, now we're seeing higher speed wireless chargers, and that will cook your battery. So the thing is, pay attention to that and move it off the wireless charger after a certain time. Like if you're doing an hour commute, probably not a good idea to have it on there the whole hour.
I had mine on as well, and I found the same thing. It got really hot, but then I questioned myself and thought, well, it's really hot here today. Maybe my phone is just overheating, which it can do. So it's interesting to get your feedback that you had the same thing. Also, I found wireless Android Auto when I got in the car. It didn't always connect either, and I had to go into the screen and connect it again, which it did connect easily at that point, but it would be nice if it was more seamless. You get in the car and it just connects right away.
Maybe after a certain number of uses, it goes, oh, okay, we'll get at it now. But yeah, you know, please don't cook your battery on the wireless charger indefinitely. And now it's time for our hot topic. What's this one, Andrea?
I really like this hybrid Escape, but I'm worried that the reliability may not be there, seeing it's a Ford. What's your thoughts on the Ford stereotype when it comes to reliability?
Well, this is one of the reasons why you can get a Ford Escape hybrid is this car is up against some big companies that have built their whole brand around reliability, Toyota and Honda with the CR-V and the RAV4.
Yeah.
So it's an upward battle for a company like this, and especially when you look at the latest JD Power numbers, they're right near the very bottom as a brand, but this one actually has some merit to it if you look at the quality scores.
Yeah, JD Power gives it an 81 out of 100, which is a great reliability score. Don't get me wrong, the Escape had some issues in the past, but it is much improved, and I feel much more confident recommending the vehicle now. But Ford will admit they have got some reliability issues. They've been struggling with that over the past couple of years, mostly because they're introducing new vehicles into the market.
With a lot of technology, like electric cars. Which is why you always want to look for a car that's been out in the market for several years, and this has been. All right, so the fuel economy is important with this, the vital stats.
Let's start with pricing. We'll do Canada first and then move on to the US. The base ST line trim starts at just over $40,000, and the top trim is just over $47,000. With $6,000 Canadian in options, our test model is just over $53,000. In the US, the base model starts at just over $33,000, and the top trim is just under $39,500.
This is why you're here. The fuel economy, 5.6 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 6.5 on the highway. That's quite incredible. 42 miles per gallon in the city, 36 on the highway. The towing capacity for this Escape hybrid is just 1,500 pounds. The warranty is 3 years, 60,000 kilometers, or 36,000 miles. Compact utility and hybrid. What else can you buy?
For your consideration, 4 vehicles for you to consider.
Up first is the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid with a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder and Toyota's Hybrid Synergy Drive. It produces 219 combined horsepower and has a starting price just under $38,000.
The Honda CR-V Hybrid with a 2-liter 4-cylinder and 204 horsepower, starting price of $48,500.
The Hyundai Tucson Hybrid with a 1.6-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder and a hybrid system, a combined 226 horsepower, and a starting price just under $43,000.
The cousin is the Kia Sportage with the same powertrain as the Tucson, a lower starting price at $39,500.
So there are 4 hybrid crossovers for you to consider.
Lightning round, 2 things we like to see improved.
Can't beat the fuel economy, it's excellent.
Also, every time I drive one of these, I'm pleasantly surprised.
I think that Ford needs to add ventilated front seats and heated rear seats to be more competitive with other hybrids.
Also, give me the regular suspension as an option.
I like the improvements Ford has made on this Escape Hybrid.
I've always been a fan.